So my name is Elsa Hernandez-Donohue. I was originally born in Venezuela, but was educated from an early age in the US. An educator, a teacher at heart, a leader in international schools, and I've been working overseas in international schools for the last 32 years. On the personal level, I have 3 children that are incredibly good people, good human beings. And they are true to the way they were raised. They are multicultural in the way they think. They're open-minded, and they live in very faraway places from us. But even though that's a reality, I'm very happy that they have become the individuals that they are, the people that they are. On the professional side, I think is the work that I do with other educators on behalf of students in international schools. In this particular context, the work we have done over the last 2 years to become a truly inclusive community gives me immense pride. We're not done yet, but it's work that will continue even after I leave. I'm quite sure of that. The fact is that being a woman, being a Latina in a traditionally populated role by white males, it's been a bit of a challenge, but I've only felt it a couple of times when I've gone for interviews in which I felt, okay, maybe there were a couple of things that I wasn't so good at and didn't come across as strongly in the interview, but I was left with also the flavor of the fact that who I was, my gender and my background may have encouraged the decision makers to go another direction rather than with me. My oldest sister, she, at a very young age in a country in which women did not go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer, she decided that she wanted to study medicine, and what she did, she was the only woman, female doctor who graduated in her class over 150 physicians. And so she's somebody who professionally inspired me. And it's interesting because I've very recently, when I've been thinking about that, about the ways that my career turned a certain direction and how I was inspired by her, even though I didn't know it at the time. I don't know that I had many of my own. I grew up in a very traditional family. I'm one of 9 children. And I think my dad, probably because there were so many of us, I think he ran it in almost like a military academy. There were a lot of rules. And things that he wanted us to pursue. So I think that I found my way within the construct that he provided. And moving to the United States really allowed me to pursue my own passions and my own interests and to discover what I wanted to become. At the beginning, I thought that I wanted to get into finance or business or marketing even, mostly because that's where my dad kept on saying that I should get into. And then one day I walked by a preschool center and I fell in love with little children and, started volunteering. And next thing I knew, I became a teacher, right? So I think I followed a very non-traditional pathway to where I am right now. Yeah, I think that my dreams, and I don't know that I would call them ambitions because as I said earlier, my pathway to my role right now has been a little bit almost circumstantial. I did not know that I wanted to be a head of school. I did not know that I wanted to get into leadership in an international school. I sort of discovered that through mentorship, through experiences that made me feel, oh, wow, I can do this, right? And people encouraging me along the way. And interestingly enough, I've written about this before and spoken with other people. It was always male mentors. I only have one dear friend, she became a friend and godmother of my children, but beyond her, every other person that encouraged me to pursue different pathways that have led me to being a leader of an international school were all men, which is interesting, right? And that's become part of my own personal passion, is to encourage women, teachers, female teachers, to see themselves as the leaders they are and that they can be and can become. So I feel very fulfilled with the work I do. paying more attention to who I was professionally and to what people were telling me, my mentors, in terms of heading into on a leadership track when I was in my 40s. And there had been people who had encouraged me to do it before then, but I really wanted to be a mom. I thought I needed to be a mom first and then do this. And I'm not so sure, I could have done it a little bit earlier, I think. Because I have a great husband. So I think that if I had listened to him when he was encouraging me to go for my second master's in leadership, I probably would have started on this path a little bit earlier, which then would have given me the opportunity to grow sooner. Believe in yourself, find your passion, find what you really want to dedicate your life to, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. I'm a little bit idealistic, and I wish that the world would listen more, and that we wouldn't be so divided at the moment. And that's on a big scale, but I actually feel that that's manifesting in communities as well, and in international communities as well. I spoke earlier about the importance of listening, and I think that if we human beings took the time to listen deeply, maybe we wouldn't see differences. Maybe we would identify the ways in which we're quite similar, and that would help just people be a part of a much better world, a kinder world, right? That is not kind of peppered with violence and divisive rhetoric. So that's a big hope, but I think it does transfer to our community, and that's why we've been doing so much work in terms of clarifying what it means to be an inclusive community and the value that preserving the dignity of all the peoples in a community has.